everybody. Thank you for being here at the Fire Department headquarters here in Fall River, Massachusetts. We have an incredible group of individuals, agencies, organizations that have assembled here today for a follow-up meeting, an organizational meeting, to continue our efforts in helping those victims of the New Year's Day fire here in the north end of Fall River at Four Winds. Tragic event that really these individual families have lost everything in that building. The building has been demolished and torn down, so everything from family photos to birth certificates to even their car keys are gone. So it really was left to the group of individuals that have assembled here, along with the many, many people out in our community that are helping these individual families. But we had to really provide some of the, fill the gaps, fill some of the other areas, make sure that we had a locksmith, make sure that we had, rent assistance, and make sure that we can provide some of the services that may not be provided through just the many, many wonderful citizens that have come forward to help these people. So that's why this group of incredible individuals assembled and came together to fill those gaps, and I'll list some of the agencies, and if not all the agencies that are here today, and some that may not be here. So of course we have the City of Fall River and our fire department, EMA, our police department, all assisting with this effort. We have Family Service Association, we have Recreation Fall River, Greater Fall River Recreation, we have Four Winds, we have the United Way, Red Cross, a really incredible partner. We're going to hear from Edward in a little bit about the efforts from the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the the Firefighter Wives Association, WIC, Journey Church, Liberty Utilities, Catholic Social Services, and the Community Development Agency. We also have many other partners within the community that are not necessarily here today, but have been helping, whether it's GoFundMe pages online, whether it's PetSmart, or whether it's some of the other wonderful organizations that have come forward. Prestige Automart is making a significant donation on Tuesday, and many other organizations throughout our community. So we continue to welcome that, and we need more help, specifically monetary help, so we can get the families that are affected different things that they may need. And that's what we're here today to talk about. We want to get this message out to the community, but we also want to ensure that the message gets to the families that were affected, and that's why the Red Cross has stepped up, and I'm sure they'll touch upon this, ensuring that all those families are contacted on a daily basis by a Red Cross member, and are spoken to and are talked to through this difficult time, but also collecting information about those individuals' needs at this time. So we're trying to get the information out to everybody, but the message today is really important, that we need to continue our efforts in getting monetary donations, and you can do that through many, many different entities, but specifically today, we're asking that people donate to the Firefighter Wives Association. You can go visit their Facebook page, or you can make a donation via the mail in a check form to P.O. Box 423, Somerset, Massachusetts 02726. And again, that's the Firefighter Wives Association, and you can make a donation to that organization. They will ensure that the money goes to those that are affected by this fire. Another important announcement is we have, in the last 24 hours, got an overwhelming amount of clothing donated for this cause. So much so that we're asking that people shift their focus to food, gift cards, toiletries specifically, and you can continue to bring toiletries and gift cards and monetary donations to the various organizations involved. You can bring toiletries to Recreation at 45 Rock Street, but we literally got, I think this morning, one organization received 50 bags of clothing. Other organizations have been overwhelmed with clothing. So let us have some time to sort through that and address the needs of the individuals involved. And if there's a need for more clothing, we will let you know. But at this time, we really are overwhelmed by the amount of clothing that has come forward. We're so thankful that there are so many people in our community that did that. In addition, we have 2 events planned, and this is a really important announcement. So we don't want to waste any time. The Red Cross has been gracious enough to help us organize an earlier event for this Sunday from 12 to 4 p.m. at Government Center, to ensure that we can help as many people as possible that were affected by this fire. Some 80 people have been affected by this fire and are living at family and friends' homes, and some in hotels, and some may not have a place to go in the coming weeks. So we will have on site on Sunday from 12 to 4 at Government Center Atrium, the various organizations that are here. You'll have housing resources, the Red Cross will have an individual walk you through the process and help with each station, and we'll go into that in a second. And then we'll have a follow-up event again on Tuesday, which has already been scheduled and announced yesterday, from 1 to 7 p.m. for follow-up for those individuals that are affected. Again, these organizations will be present. That'll be a day that these families that are affected will have the opportunity to get licenses, birth certificates, any government-issued documents or important information that will all be on site and no charge to those individuals to help them through this very difficult time. So I can't thank everybody enough for coming together and helping those that are affected and those in need. Just an incredible amount of support on social media from the public, phone calls, emails, and all the individuals here. Just thank you for your selflessness and helping these individuals in need. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Edward Blanchard from the Red Cross. He's the Director of Disaster Relief, and he'll give us a lowdown on what's going to happen on Sunday and again on Tuesday.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Starting Sunday, we'll be working with community partners in the greater Fall River area to make sure that we transition from the response phase of our disaster relief operation to the recovery phase. We're working with clients currently to identify any unmet needs or any gaps, working with these community groups to get them the services that they need. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can go to redcross.org to find our local page, or you can call a local office and you'll be directed to the relief operation.
Very good. Short and sweet. Nice. Rick, do you want to say a few words?
No, okay.
So I'll also bring up Rick Aguirre, who's in charge of our EMA services here in the city of Fall River. He was on site the entire time. Just an incredible effort for a period of 36 plus hours.
Oh, yes.
And even after that. So thank you, Rick, for everything you did on that day, but please come up and say a few words.
So on behalf of the fire chief, once again, I want to thank everyone for being here. I've been in the fire service a long, long time, and I've never seen an outpouring such as we've had here. We had a disaster on Good Street about 7 years ago, and we had many people that came to help. I don't think it has been as great as it is today, correct, Sharon?
Correct.
And I cannot say enough for the Claremore Company. They have been so generous to their residents. They have given them countless amounts of money to get them off their feet. And in all the years that I've been in public safety and public service dealing with this stuff with the Red Cross, they have been extraordinary helping the people. It's been beyond that I ever seen. So I congratulate you for that.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. So just to reiterate a couple things and actually to touch upon that, it is important to know that there really has been so many resources that have come forward. The group that does own the Four Winds is providing today, this afternoon, over $2,800 to every family affected. In addition to the $750 they already provided, in addition to the $125 the Red Cross provided on the day of the fire. So an incredible amount of support, both monetary and just in terms of actual support. And just I think all of them know Jessica personally from the Four Winds, and she's been in constant contact with those affected. So thank you once again. So just to reiterate a couple points again. So clothing donations, we've been overwhelmed. So we're asking that people shift their focus to monetary donations. They can make those donations directly to the Firefighters Wives Association. You can see their GoFundMe at their Facebook page. You can also donate them to the P.O. Box that was mentioned earlier. In addition, you can do gift card donations. So a lot of people got restaurant gift cards over the holidays. If you can provide some of those gift cards to help these neighbors in need, that would be excellent and really important. Many of these people don't have a kitchen right now. That's important to remember. So that's a big deal. If you have pets that were affected or you have donations for pets, you can make those donations at Forever Paws. You can do that at PetSmart in Swansea and Fall River as well. Forever Paws is going to be providing some services for the pets that were affected. Toiletries, very important. Please continue to bring in toiletries. Toothbrushes, the deodorants, etc. to 45 Rock Street at the recreation facility. It's just an incredible amount of support. I think I covered everything. Again, the big thing to take away today is Sunday 12 to 4, as well as Tuesday evening from 1 to 7 p.m. We'll have a resource fair where hopefully we can, as was eloquently said, begin the recovery and recovery period after the relief period. So thank you so much. God bless each of these individuals that are affected, and just thank you to everybody that has come forward to help us out. Okay, thank you. Questions?
Is there enough quality housing in the city to accommodate these displaced residents?
Yes, I think so. And we're working with the Catholic Social Services, who is one of the strongest partners, if not our strongest partner, when it comes to rapid rehousing and then permanent housing, of course, for these individuals. So between Community Development Agency, Catholic Social Services, and many landlords who have come forward, by the way, expressing interest in trying to help these people out, I think we're gonna have enough housing for sure.
And you described the scope of the response as kind of, unprecedented. Can you speak to what, the severity of this displacement for the residents of Fall River and what this kind of, how the impact has been on the social services organizations here?
I'm probably not the best to answer that question. If somebody wants to come forward from the social service agencies that maybe can get in the response. The Red Cross has a lot of experience in this area. Maybe you can describe.
I can touch upon that.
Yeah.
So every day we're responding to house fires across the Commonwealth. When we have a house fire of this magnitude, we deem it as a disaster relief operation where we're able to bring in additional resources and finances. So for the next 2 weeks, we're gonna have 17 volunteers per week, 34 total, committed to these clients in their recovery phase. What that does for local response is nothing. We're still gonna continue to respond to the single-family, multifamily house fires. We're gonna continue to work with the Fall River Fire Department and other fire departments to install smoke detectors to make homes safer. And we're gonna continue with our preparedness programs. So that is possible because of the great cooperation that we have with the government, local non-government organizations and nonprofits. It really takes an entire city approach to meet the needs of these clients, not just one organization or government group.
Thank you, Wilson.
And is there kind of a target amount of money that you all think these folks need to get back on their feet?
Well, my initial goal was to get $1,000 per family. And it's getting up there pretty good. Right now, I think it's at $16,000 that I've collected so far. But we have an event that's going to take place on February 2nd to benefit these individuals as well. So we're going to be raising a lot more money, and I hope. And my hope then is to make sure that we disperse the money evenly throughout each individual person. So.
Yeah, and it's important to keep in mind, these people lost everything, right? So the furniture, their beds, their mattresses, their toiletries, their clothing, the memories, the trinkets from their childhoods, photos that they can't get back, but I mean, they've lost everything. So it is really important that we raise as much money as possible. And you can do that in many different ways, but we have, as a city, we have decided to partner with the Firefighter Wives Association to ensure those donations get to those individuals. Although there are many other GoFundMes out there, and we encourage people to donate as much as they can to organizations. We have partnered with this particular organization and association. But again, the devastation, the entire building's gone, right? So you wake up New Year's Day, this fire began at approximately 9:40 in the morning, around there, 9:40 a.m. on New Year's Day. Shortly thereafter, you may leave your home, you live in an apartment building. Put yourself in these people's situation, in their shoes, that you leave an apartment building, as you hear a smoke alarm, whatever it may be, you probably think it's a dryer. That's what some of the individuals said to me. They thought it was a bad filter in the dryer, and it happens, it happens in all our homes sometimes, You have a fire alarm ring, you don't think it's gonna be this kind of a fire, you run out in just your pajamas, and then you can never go back into your home. I mean, to put it that way, I don't think it can be stronger that put. You leave your home thinking you're gonna return, that the fire's gonna be knocked out, and believe me, our fire department did everything they possibly could. But under the circumstances, with a vehicle hitting that building, with gas lines, et cetera, being potentially an even bigger hazard, we had to be as safe as possible, and we did everything we possibly could. But that's what these families are facing. They walked out and never could walk back into their homes. So that should hopefully send the message very clear that as much of you that you can give, please do give.
And do you have a target date for getting folks into permanent housing?
I'm probably not the one to say that right now. I think it's a case-by-case basis probably, right? I mean, it'll depend on, who's living with family, for how long, if they can get housing, leases, et cetera. So I don't want to get into detail because it's a little bit personal for them. All right? Good, thank you. Please get the message out. Thank you to everybody here.